Here. Coach, thanks for giving us a few minutes today. If we just get your thoughts on the game, please.
Again, another tough one for us. It was they came out swinging early. It was that flurry in the first couple innings was ultimately what ended up being hard to overcome. Even with that being said, being down 6-0 and coming back and making it a ball game was pretty proud of the guys for just fighting all the way. That was the goal, just to fight for the 27 outs, and we did. And Hamilton came in and had an amazing performance to give us a chance, and Davion did what Davion does at the end there. The guys kept going. I mean, heck, we had the winning run on base. So that's, kudos to what we're doing. And really like a great job by a lot of the guys there. Their last at bat was in the last inning. And they did a really good job of competing. So I do appreciate their effort today.
Take questions for Coach. Use the raise hand feature and we'll take them in the order. And we'll go to Matthew Bartlett, please.
I want to ask you about Tyler Hamilton and how fitting it was that, especially like in this tournament, on every different day, it was a different guy who stepped up and had that big performance when you needed. What does that kind of say about this team?
I think it speaks volumes. He's been a guy that we basically talk him into staying and playing with us this year. Really smart guy, and like a wonderful person to have on the team, a leader, worked extremely hard, was really upset about his last outing, and we were trying really hard to get him out there again. And I mean, he probably threw the hardest ball I've ever seen him throw today as well. I think he hit a 95 today. His slider has been really elite, especially when it's on. And so today was, I mean, he was just really personal. He left it all out there, gave us all he had. Really, really proud of him doing what he did, man. It was great.
And then I know you got a long offseason ahead of you to think about it, but how are you going to remember this season and this team?
I think this season we ended up creating an identity for ourselves, created a what we are about, especially on the offensive side, and what the standard is and what we expect of our guys in order for you to be in the lineup. I think all the guys that were bought in ended up being the guys that ended up playing a lot and ended up elevating us really to be able to make the tournament and go this far. So I mean, at one point I think we were like 1-9 in conference or something like that. So for us to have played well enough to get in was really remarkable, and it was just the part about the identity part. I think pitching also, something happened there where everybody started clicking, and the pen was really good. At times we were, I mean, I don't know, we did have a bunch of shutout innings here. We had a horrible inning. I think it was the 8th against ECU, the first game. But it was, I think it's really, it's just the kind of people that we're bringing in. I think it's going to be contagious. This is the best team so far that I've had, and I think next year's team's going to be even better. We have a lot more talent. My best recruiting class is coming in next year, so it's something to be said. That's been the goal, to get something sustainable and something successful here, and getting the right people and recruiting the right type of human. At the same time, trying to get guys that have the that can have the academic standard that is required to be at Rice is also a challenge. But we're getting those guys as well, so which is great. Kudos to the guys for their hard work, not just on the field but in the classroom. So it speaks volumes for the quality of human being that's on my team.
And you mentioned recruiting, but kind of on your to-do list, what's the next step you think for this program to continue to progress?
I think people are starting to realize that we can develop talent on our team. We treat guys like it's a family there. We hold guys accountable. We have what we call the Rice standard, to be a Rice guy, and the alumni support is great. The athletic department support is great. It is a new chapter in Rice baseball, especially with the support that we have with the athletic department. So it's exciting times for us. Our schedule is going to be, fun next year as well. A lot of good things happening. So exciting times for us right now.
What are you most excited about for the path ahead?
I think I'm excited for the talent level to elevate moving forward. I think we're going to have better athletes each year. I keep saying this, that we're going to have a faster team next year, or this will be the slowest team that I'll have. And this year's team had was pretty fast, the fastest I've had here yet. Next year's team's going to be faster than that, except we'll have a few more thumpers to be able to create bigger innings. I think it all started to happen probably halfway through the season, if not a little bit more beyond halfway, where we started to have big innings, because at the beginning of the year we'd score one at a time. So now, I mean, even today, I think we had a couple innings here with multiple. We had a 3 and a 2 in there against some really good competition. So excited again for what we got going on and how we're gonna build our baseball players.
Thanks, Jose. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Any final questions for Coach? Coach, thanks for your time this week, today and this week.
Thank you.
All right.
I took the scorecard.
Of course. Yep. Okay, joined by Jacob Starling. We can fire away with questions. Use the raise hand feature. We'll start with Patrick Mason, please.
Hey Jacob, I know you guys are, elimination game backs against the wall here. So, I mean, how good was it just to score some early runs and then be able to hang on at the end?
I mean, it was great. Zach Root gave us a really good start for his first time out there in like 6 weeks. So it was great to see him back out there, and offense was just relentless the whole game. And, we got a W.
Other questions?
What does it do for you guys when you do see a guy like Zach Root coming back? And I know you guys got Wyatt back the other day as well. I mean, does it just kind of feel like you guys are, pulling together as a team at this point?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it, puts all the players in a good headspace to see him back out there and just, competing and doing what they love to do.
Other questions for Jacob? All right, back to Patrick.
Hey, sorry, Jacob, my computer's all over the place. What was it like to play in this game, without head coach? I know it must have been maybe a little weird, but maybe you guys didn't notice it. I guess just kind of walk me through what that was.
I mean, Coach Godwin's gave us all the tools to go out there and play. So we don't need him to go out and play our brand of baseball. But I mean, he's done a great job of just preparing us for moments like this. And players are just mature and we know how to handle our business.
All right, Jacob, thank you. Appreciate the time.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you.
Bringing Coach Jeff Palumbo. Coach, thanks for giving us a few minutes today. Can we just start with your thoughts on the game, please, and then we'll open up to questions.
Yeah, I thought, it was huge for us today to get off to a strong start. Zach gave us a really nice start on the mound and came out. And as Star mentioned, after that long of a layoff for him, especially in his first 2 innings, just really, really sharp. And that's, unusual, right? But Zach's super talented and he's sharp. He's going to have a lot of success. So really, really good to see that. And then I thought the offense, Coach Gowan, Coach Lartigue, Coach Packer, they put together a really nice plan. I thought offensively, we had some success, off of that their starter at our place, really just last week. And so I think they had some confidence going into it, but really 1 through 9, I thought we executed early on with their first two arms and really made it tough on those pitchers. So when this offense does that and they execute the plan at a high level up and down, they're very, very difficult to keep off the scoreboard. So, but I thought between Zach and the offense getting us off to a good start, obviously that held up over time and that was really, really important for us. And, I just super proud of those guys in the bullpen coming out and, Kaler gave us some big outs, D'Lo and some young arms, Colby and some young guys there in the middle, in some big spots, right? Putting up some zeros and just kind of grinding through and battling through their lineup and obviously giving the ball off to the veteran, Danny Beal. I just thought, again, the guy's just been a workhorse for us and, giving him the ball in really every big spot here with some of the injuries that we've had over the last few weeks. And you saw that experience play out during the course of the ninth inning, having to go through their top and middle of the lineup with some guys on base. First couple guys get on, and he just kind of navigates it and continues to execute. And just a tip of the cap to him for getting it done.
Open up to questions, please. Use the raise hand feature, and we'll start with Patrick Mason.
Coach, so when Zach Cruz goes out there to throw, I mean, obviously, you want him to do well, but what's kind of the main thing that you're looking for, when he's throwing?
I mean, look, you just want to make sure he's feeling good and healthy, right? And he wouldn't have gone out there if there wasn't a build up to it to make sure that Zach felt good. And but when he's out there, you're just kind of watching to make sure they're sharp, right? Make sure their stuff is good and the velocity is where it needs to be, the command is where it needs to be, and that was evident pretty quickly, right? With Zach today, that he had his good stuff. And again, that's honestly a little bit unexpected, not because of Zach, but just because of the layoff that he had. So for him to go out there and do that was very, very impressive, much needed. But those are some of the things you're just kind of keyed in on to make sure he's able to not only go out there, but do it in a healthy manner and obviously be effective.
Look next to Kaysen Rameli, please. And I apologize if I messed that pronunciation up, Kaysen.
All good. Coach, just talk about how big Ryan McChrystal has been down here in Clearwater first couple games of the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, Ryan's really gotten us jump started in just about every game, offensively. So, he's back there. He's out of the DH role today. He's back behind the dish. And I thought not only was it the swings offensively, right, the big swing to center that got us going, but also throwing a guy out right on the base pass and early on in the baseball game to kind of halt one of their rallies. So I just thought he's been huge for us, from start to where we are right now throughout the entire tournament, both offensively and now defensively behind the dish today.
Okay, next to Bubba Rosenbaum, please.
Coach, congrats on the win. Obviously, they're late. Rice made it a one-run game, and then you had a big 2-out RBI by Joey Brini.
Yeah, it's huge, right? JC just misses the home run, right? He comes up just a tick short for the home run. He's on second base, and really, didn't execute there with a couple outs. But really, I really give Hamilton a lot of credit. Tyler Hamilton, their third arm, I thought he was tremendous, and really we were rolling offensively pretty good, and he went out there and just kind of shut us down for 5 and gave Rice an opportunity to get back in the baseball game. I thought he was extremely sharp. I would assume that's one of his best outings of the year, if not the best. And but Joey, just a huge swing. And Joey will do that at times, right? He'll get himself a good pitch to hit. He'll jump him and got a huge swing there, which obviously ended up being a big run for us.
That's Patrick Mason.
You guys have had a lot of success against Rice over the past week. I think you guys played him 5 times in the past 6 games. But I mean, even despite that success, I guess what are some challenges playing a team so often in such a short time frame?
Yeah, I think, right, it's one of those situations where you learn as you go a little bit, and there's really nothing to hide at that point, right? You're playing your 4th and 5th time, and I think if you look at Rice really over the course of the season, I thought offensively they really, at least down the stretch here, battled at the plate and made it harder on our pitchers, right? Found a lot of pitches off and they play the bunt game, right? They do a lot of the things, honestly, that we do, right, in our program. So, rather than just kind of standing up there and swinging and being a little bit easy to defend, they kind of play the game a little bit. They make you shrink the field a little bit defensively and put a little bit more pressure on you on the defensive side. So, but I thought today our pitchers did a nice job of managing some of those situations. But anytime you play somebody 5 times in, gosh, I don't know, less than a week, a little over a week's time, it's one of those things where you just got to go out and play your brand of baseball, right? Both, there's nothing to hide. Both guys know what's effective, what isn't, and it really comes down to who can execute it at a higher level.
Okay. Another one from Kaysen.
Coach, Chrisman got the start at third because of the suspension, and Cam got the start at first. Just how important is it to have that depth and in the corners and the infield going into this tournament and then regional week next week?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you lose Dixon today, and it's a situation where you're trying to figure out, right? Colby plays a lot of third base as well, but we needed him to be able to pitch today. So that was something where and you really still have Nate Chrisman, a great defender and a tough out at the plate to play there, and Cam gives us a little bit of energy off the bench, right, to come out and puts a big swing on it early in the baseball game for an RBI, 2-out RBI. So just those guys, they're experienced. You can put them in a lot, in really any role. They can handle it. They can play defense, right? I thought Nate gave us some really good at bats today. You know, the one at bat, right, where he's fouling off a ton of 3-2 pitches. You know, you just never know how those pitches wear on that pitcher over the course of time. And does that help Joey Barini get that hit, right? Is he a little more tired later on in the you know, in that inning? And I guess that would be the 7th when Joey puts a swing on it. So, you know, he got hit by pitch, right? Just did all the little things. And you know, to your point, to have that kind of experience and those guys that can do some things, some different things, right? Different tools as well that they bring to the table. It's you know, you're excited for them to get that opportunity, and to see them go out and have success is really cool.
Final questions for Coach? Coach Palumbo, thanks for giving us a few minutes today. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And thanks to everyone for joining. Let us know if you need anything.